So, Mr. Pearse, I take it that, some of what you've said, what you're hoping will happen in 2014, there's some of your, positive projections. How do you also see the political atmosphere playing out? Because that's one area a host of people are very worried about. I mean, we saw what happened towards the tail end of 2013 and some of the happenings between the parties, the Governors Forum. Sure. So what happened, the letters that came towards the end of 2013, and, all of that looks like it's going to snowball into 2014 somewhat. What are your projections for 2014, considering the political atmosphere?
Well, the PDP is looking very unstable now. But, the classical term for politicians is here today, gone tomorrow, gladiators. They're always fighting. And we've seen it in 2013 in a very practical and a very aggressive manner. But things, I think, can only get better now. They will settle down. Now that some governors have decided to go to another party, let them settle down in that party and see what is left in PDP, and we'll see what APC is able to do. And, it's a little disturbing, but these are realities of politics. And
what's disturbing?
The conflicts that we saw, infighting here, and you wonder, people who go to parties, you wonder why they went, what they intend to do, what is the ideology behind it, what are the principles behind this new party, this new merger, and so on. It's a little disturbing, but eventually, as they settle down in these different parties and they present themselves to the Nigerian public for re-election, things will be okay, things will settle down. So we'll see. It will not be, they'll not be fighting when they get close to elections.
I like your projections. I mean, in the sense that they really do bring hope. I mean, first of all, you talked about national dialogue, which is going to happen this year from all indications. You're also looking at the political atmosphere. You believe that things would definitely settle down, during the course of the year. Are you sure they're going to settle down? They're going to get hotter? Because people are already looking at 2015. They've been projecting for towards 2015 since 2013. In fact, it will seem almost immediately the 2011 elections were over. People are already thinking about the next election.
Well, I think the fightings that we've seen with the parties, I think we've seen the worst of it.
Really?
Yes. As they get close to elections, they have to settle down. Because now the people are going to ask them, what are you really about? I'll give you an example. Members of the National House of Assembly, they went to the change parties in mainstream. Now, the people would ask you, if you were PDP when you got in office, we voted for you on the principles of PDP on your campaign for certain things as a member of this party. Now that you are in this party, you have to now go back to the people and tell them, ask for their mandate, ask for their vote. When you get to that point, so now that they're in transition, it's okay. But you have to settle down now because they have to go back and campaign.
Yeah, but that movement by itself, yes. Where they go from one party to the other, it's not new to our politics, is it?
It's not new, but this one is quite drastic.
Isn't it stimulating for the electorate? For the fact that you have at least an alternative,
sure,
in terms of a political party.
Definitely, it's good for the electorate. And I'm optimistic about something else too. Nigeria has never elected a president who was known to be corrupt. If you think about it.
How do you mean?
Well, a lot of people now are parading themselves as progressives. They think they are fooling the people, but the people always know who they are going to vote for. They know them. They know what they stand for. The most important thing for me is that we have a free and fair election. And that is the most important thing. If you allow the people to actually cast their vote the way they believe, and you do not manipulate their vote, you will never have a corrupt president in Nigeria. Because the people know.
Let's go to more.
They know the personalities.
Let's be more specific now,
Yes.
before we leave the studios. Now, we've seen the movement to the APC. Well, Chimele asked you a question. If it's new, you said no. But in a way, you tried to make us understand that it is unprecedented, this exodus into an opposition party. We haven't actually seen that in our political history before. So what do you make of that? Are you thinking, when you say people trying to make us believe or deceive the Nigerian people, are you thinking that almost everyone that has moved has had a taste of power at one point or the other, to the extent that the people can now say, well, we have a political history of you, and perhaps maybe if it's good or bad, they can hold you accountable to that political history, and that might mar or make them during the elections?
I believe so. The governors, for instance, who are the main individuals that made the move, the 5 governors.
Don't forget that most of them, again,
Yes.
are second-term governors.
So they're term limited.
So they're not going for any election, except maybe they want to go for Senate.
Well, you say maybe they want to go for Senate. That's an election. They have reasons for going to APC. They are looking for political future survival. If not them, then they are surrogates, such as the members of the House who followed them as soon as they left, which shows that those members have no mind of their own. That means they just follow any governor.
I mean, all of those people have no mind of their own?
Well, that's what it appears to me. If because your governor decided to move, you now follow suit as if it is automatic, you know what's your own reason for leaving.
Yeah, but what did they expect?
Chairman, perhaps you share the same ideology with your governor.
What ideology? What was the ideology for those 5 governors for moving? Each one of them, if you look at each one of them, they have a very personal, very self-centered reason for leaving the party.
Self-centered, you say?
Yes, yes.
Do they all have altruistic reasons, politicians in this country?
Don't say in this country.
Why not? This is where we live.
Politics is the same all over the world.
Yeah, but which politician can we say is altruistic here? If you classify some as being selfish.
There's a middle ground. Everybody can't be. You do not expect any human being to be perfect. But there are differences. This is the point. Look, this year, as we go into the election year, the parties and individuals will have to tell the people what they stand for.
Yeah.
So whether they can define ideology or not, which most of them cannot,
how do you say that for sure?
They will have to. You say what?
How do you say for sure they can't?
I've seen them. I've heard them many times.
Well, let's talk about it before you wrap up, because we're out of time now. I mean, we've seen this initially when it was happening. A lot of people take it for granted, saying, "Forget about this party." Some say till today that the APC is going to crumble, but they've had 5 governors join them. They've had over 27 members in the National Assembly join them, and counting. And they say strongly too that don't worry, you just watch what happens. When the time comes, they will dislodge the ruling party for now. Shouldn't we have any cause to say, wait a minute, this might just happen?
I was myself very surprised that they've been able to go this far. But I'm waiting for things to settle down. Then we'll see. I have faith in the Nigerian people that they will ask questions. You were here yesterday. Today you are here now. Which one are you really? What do you really stand for? All I'm praying for is that we have a fair and open election by INEC. That nobody interrupt INEC. And we must give the president kudos so far. I don't know any other president that has allowed INEC to be as independent as this president has been. Okay. And therefore, if we can go this way, if we follow this trend, then we should be optimistic for the next election.
Okay, we'll leave it on that optimistic note. Dr. Adetokunbo Pearse is a political analyst. Thank you very much indeed for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Well,